why are we here today? We are here because I've had questions of what 13 colors would I choose to put in this palette. And so I spent some time thinking about it because I've made lots of different palettes for myself. If you'd like to see what I think a wonderful pick for this travel palette would be, hang around, stay tuned. I'm gonna share this with you now. So I'm doing a quick comparison, not to say one is better than the other. I really enjoyed my Art Toolkit palettes, but in case any of you were curious about how portable my small version is, it's bigger, obviously, but the weight of this alone is 1.4, that's with the paint in it, compared to this one with paint is 2.0. So they're about the same. You add on like the case for it, then you get 2.2. You add the full case for this one's definitely going to be heavier, but still 1.8 with both. And I make this is a polyester, or not polyester, but it's a recycled plastic sleeve. So you could even go a little bit lighter, 1.6. So that's just to show you how light this can be. If you like if you're going for lightweight, this is still a great option. This is a really great option for very small, compact, but at the same time, if you wanted to put the mixing palettes in here, like this one, that could work as well as a complement to this palette, other than the little palette. Like this is the one that I take, and it's 1.7 versus 1.9. So it's still really lightweight and tiny. Drum roll, these are the colors I would choose, and this is based on the colors that I have in my collection. I'm starting with Nickel Azo Yellow. I think it's a great medium yellow. I used to use more of a Hansa medium, and I've also used the Aureolin by Holbein, which is a hue. I love all of those options, but right now in this day and moment, I think I would go with the Nickel Azo Yellow, and predominantly because it has enough of a goldness to it that I don't need also quinacridone gold in my palette. I think it's a good bridge for yellow and gold, and it kind of does everything. Skipping a spot, I'm going to move over to my Cool Red, which is always Quinacridone Magenta by Holbein. This is PR 122. It's different names and different brands, but this Holbein version I really love. I've done light fast testing on it, and it stays vibrant in south-facing light for months and months on end. I think it can get a bad rap because it's also the pigment that's used in Opera Pink, which is very fugitive, but that color is fugitive because of the dye that's added to it to make it that neon bright color. So this is just a great pick. You can create incredible purples, pinks, reds, oranges. It's really fun to have in the palette, and I highly recommend it. Okay, y'all, this next color, I was on the fence, and I'm still a tiny bit on the fence, but I'm picking the color that I would choose today, and right now, I would choose Undersea Green by Daniel Smith. I think another great option in this category would be either Sap Green or Paraline Green. Both colors I've used tons of, but right now I'm just really loving having this olive tone in my palette ready to go, ready to mix with. it's just been really fun with the landscapes and different things that I'm painting. Next up, we have cobalt blue. I love the pureness, the crispness of this blue. This one I would also say you could choose between this and cerulean, in my opinion, because they kind of both have that sky blue feeling. They're both granulating, so you can get some really fun, moody grays with them. But right now, in this time in my life, cobalt is the one I would add. And we're going to go on to the next one, which is an oldie but a goodie. It's a standard. It's ultramarine blue. I'm showing you here how I have several in my palette, in my collection, to choose from, different brands. And they're all very, very similar. I think it's a pretty consistent color across the board. The one I'm putting down here, I think, is the Ultramarine Deep by My Merry Blue. And I just like, I like this color. But I'm not too particular. This is one, there are some colors I am like, I like this brand absolutely above others, but the Ultramarine Blue, give me any of them and I like them. They work really, really predictably. Next up, I'm choosing one of my leading colors right now. It's kind of been surprising to me, but Goethite has now replaced yellow ochre in my palette, because I love how it granulates. It also, if I mix it with a little bit of the nickel azo yellow, I get more of the yellow ochre gold. So it plays a bigger role in the variety I can get with this as a mixing palette. So I absolutely love it. I think it's a great color for underpainting and shadows and just all sorts of, creating earth tones. Skipping a spot, I am making sure, the reason I skipped over to this other palette was I wanted to make sure that I picked up the Daniel Smith version of Indian Red. This is one of those colors that I love their version. I've tried a few others, and this is the one. It just, I don't know. I can't really describe it. I love how when you paint it out and water it down and dilute it, it becomes similar to a potter's pink, so you can get some really beautiful mauves and grays and just a lot of variety with this color. And last but not least, before I come in and do my in-between colors, well, no, let's go ahead and do it. I guess I did. Sorry, voiceover here. Pyrrole Scarlet. Absolutely love it. It's a little bit closer to orange. I'm comparing it to some other mid-reds there. I prefer, like I've said, to have kind of more extreme colors so that I can do with mixing, get those mid-reds instead of having a mid-red and having to adjust it. Next up, I am choosing, this is a color I have so many versions of. I love them all. I'm not picky about it. Give me any of the green golds. In Daniel Smith, they call it rich green gold, but it's the same as green gold in most other brands. I just love it. I think it's a great mixing color for greens. It also can kind of play like a yellow when you mix it with blue. And yeah, it's a really, really vibrant, bright, useful color when you work in landscapes because it's a earthy. I don't think it's quite as earthy as quinacridone gold, so that's why I like it, because I kind of try to mix, I like to mix my own earthy colors on my own. So I'm choosing, in this next slot, phthalo blue. I think that this spot could go either phthalo blue or phthalo green, depending on what you paint or which one you prefer the most. For me, right now, the things that I'm painting in my sketchbook, I'm choosing phthalo blue. I like how it can really shove a mix really dark and deep. And it just has a lot of strength to it. I think having a phthalo can be really, really useful. And I think either of them can, like between blue and green, can do similar things. Next up, I'm showing you Indigo. This is the Daniel Smith version. I love having Indigo. It's a mix, but it's a great dark, deep color to have. Mixing the indigo with the green gold is one of my favorite kind of sappy green mixes. So I prefer that over the tube sap green. Also mixing the indigo with the magenta, just with anything. It's a great color. Not sure I was talking about on my color chart there. And that color chart is just a representation of all of the different pigments in my collection. It's a lot, but I'm a full-time painter. That's why I have a lot. And this one, oh, I love this color. It is the Brown Iron Oxide by Daniel Smith. It granulates. It's on the warmer side. It's also really highly pigmented, and you know, you mix that with your ultramarine blue. I love the gray that you get with that. I choose a warmer brown in a limited palette over the burnt sienna, since I have the Indian red, which I think I have more versatility with a warm brown and Indian red versus having burnt sienna. That's just what I have noticed while I paint. So I'm talking about how my 13th slot, it's a wild card. I think you can choose anything your heart desires for that. I think the other 12 colors are kind of like solid gold for me. If you wanted to add in a phthalo green or a viridian or a cerulean blue, or you could add a purple. I think that could be kind of fun. I like quinacridone purple. I also love the manganese violet by My Merry Blue. Is beautiful. If you are kind of like, I have to have burnt sienna, this could be a good way to add it into your palette. I love hematite violet. You see that one right there on the right of that row that's got a lot of granulation and color splitting, and turquoise, the cobalt turquoise. Those are all great options. That's what I really love about the 13 color, is you can have your staple 12, and then you get to have that one really fun color that you love to have. It makes painting enjoyable. And yeah, this is what I'm thinking and feeling today. In these palettes, you can change out the colors. So if you find yourself kind of wishy-washy, you can still do that with these palettes. Just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for the orders that I'm getting on my Shopify and on my Etsy shop. I have stickers on Etsy, and I do international shipping through Etsy, but I also have my main website where I sell prints and original artwork, and I have collections there that I'm really, I'm so like happy to be able to share those with you. I love making these videos when I feel inspired. I just do this to kind of share a little more with y'all and get your feedback. Like I love hearing your comments. And yeah, if you're interested, I have an online sketchbook class that if you just, you know, want to learn more and like dive into your sketchbooks and need a little inspiration, I have classes that walk you through step by step and also guide you through how do you find inspiration to fill up a sketchbook, not just keep it incomplete, but to actually fill it up. So yeah, I also, please go check out Bree's channel. She's got a ton of really great inspiration to fill up your sketchbook. She's been doing this so much longer than I have over here on YouTube, and she's just her sketchbooks are phenomenal. They should be made into books. I just want to say thank you, and